Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all latest news and tech that happened during the week of tech and mobile. Let me know what you guys think about CES. Have you heard anything about it before we get to the top 10 things that I personally saw? Now, there are other things that were there, but these are just the top 10 things I really liked and really stood out to me. Now, while they are in no particular order, I will say the last one is the one that I am definitely buying. Period. So let's get started. If you have any questions you want to ask, just ask them in the comment section down below, and I will answer them before the end of the show. All right, but this is going to be the first one. It is called the SpaceToop. This is a different kind of laptop than you've ever seen. It essentially is a keyboard with a battery and a processor, everything but the screen, and the screen is your AR glasses. So that is really what is very different from everything else. It is pretty lightweight, obviously, since it doesn't have to have a screen, although the screen isn't too heavy compared to glasses. But it was just a very different take, and I thought this case was very interesting too, because it essentially folds back into a kickstand, and you don't have any screen in front of you. It's just the glasses are tethered to it, you put them on, and you get to use them. Now they expect it to come out sometime this year, but no specifics because my guess is they still have some tweaking to do and still have some. The glasses I used were not the final ones that they were going to have. They were going to have their own or different partner for the glasses, but very different. All right, this one. So the Mobius from Hyundai. This is a very interesting concept. I uploaded a short earlier today, so if you haven't seen it, go ahead and see it. This car can do basically any kind of turn that you ever thought a car could do, and probably ones you've never thought a car could do. It can do entire 360s with arrows pointing at the ground, projected from the car so you know which way it's turning. It can parallel park perfectly just by going sideways. It can do the crab walk, going in a diagonal section. And it's just absolutely amazing to see what kind of concepts they can come out of this, and possibly, honestly, cars of the future. Like, if there was anything that embodied the future of tech at this event, I would say this one had to be at the Hyundai Mobius. It just had tires that can go inward and outward, all four of them. So it really could do any situation. It could spin around one way, it could spin around the other way, and if you don't know what I mean by that, it's just like it really is impressive. Like, you never have to do a 3 point turn again. You never have to do like anything like that. It's so interesting how well it did it. It was able to do like a tight turn, and they showed off how even if you're on a spinning part, you can do a tighter turn. So you can do, in a sense, a 3 point turn, but it's not really because you're just turning this way more so, and then go back down. It's a crazy concept. I did upload a video for it. Go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. But just a really cool concept. By the way, most of these will have videos on them within the next week. I have definitely done over 15 videos recorded, but only 2 edited so far. So there is more coming. All right, now this one was one that was just astounding to me as a content creator. If you create content, this is what everyone has been waiting for, in my opinion, when it comes to AI. And I don't even think that the people at MSI realized how big this was, because when I told them this is what everyone's waiting for, it didn't seem like they knew this was the biggest thing ever when it comes to AI and photo generation. So they had this thing called AI Artist, and it is going to be coming out to all products, not just MSI. They're just going to be the first ones to implement this kind of ability. So the idea behind this is you can kind of see the basics of it. A lot of it is going to be, oh, what kind of style do you want? You can do it like artistic, you can do realistic, all that kind of stuff. Plugin, they had ideas of it. So MSI notebook, and quantity. How many do you want to output? 9, 16. So all this kind of stuff, very basic. 2 by 3, 1 by 1. I was kind of like, oh, there's no 16 by 9, but we can deal with that. You can give a prompt description for typing text, or you can input a photo, which is a lot easier because you're not typing code essentially like you do in Midjourney. So I really like this. But the thing that made this stand out so much for content creators is this can export as a PSD. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is essentially a layered a and it was like 70 layers. A layered photo. So that is the biggest thing the content creators have been waiting for, because say for thumbnails, I can never use an AI to generate thumbnails really, because I would want certain things. Say if this photo was AI generated, right here. So if this photo was AI generated, what if the photo, like so many of these, the laptop is in the middle? I would want to move it to the side so I can create text right here. But if it's in the middle, I couldn't do that, and it just wasn't worth it. So what this is allowing you to do is actually have layered section. So this laptop would be its own layer, and I could move it to the side and have everything filled in perfectly. Like, this is a absolute game changer for AI photo generation. And this is something that I cannot tell you how many content creators or photo editors have been waiting for. This is huge. So very, very excited about this one. All right, now something from Samsung, one of the big hitters. So I'm not going to talk about, their transparent micro LED, although it was really cool, or, their wall that's now 140 inches, which is ridiculously big. Every year it's gotten bigger and bigger. What is actually a very interesting project that they just announced was called the Music Frame. Now, what this is essentially a Bluetooth speaker, but just like the TV frame, right? The frame, as they call it, they have now changed it into more of an art piece. So around this, around the edges, there's a little clear gap around these edges, which is where the speaker is. The middle is a subwoofer. But the biggest part about this is you can change out these panels and just have them on your wall. But then your walls will be surrounded by Bluetooth speakers, and they all work together with Samsung music products. So sound bars, if you have a Samsung sound bar, or Samsung speakers, you can put these all over your house, and bam, you're all connected. So this is actually pretty cool, because this is something that it's so well hidden and it's so well distinguished that, like, this is the kind of electronics that would be welcome in my home, because it's not very techy looking. It actually can, look very nice and make it look, higher end even. But in actuality, it's extremely cool tech and very, very loud. These you could hear very well. Hopefully, you'll be able to hear it in the video that I play for you guys soon. But yeah, I was just very impressed by it, just how it sounded and how good it was. So I can't wait to show you guys that video, but this one was a really cool, very unique, very something that we were not expecting from Samsung that we got while we were there. The MSI Claw. Now this is one that I really liked. Starting at $599 and going all the way up to $799. Or wait, oh man, now I have to remember the pricing. I'm not sure it's $599 or $699. It might be $699, but going up to $799. This one is a really cool device. So this is basically kind of like, if you have seen the Steam or the ROG Ally that I have here. These are essentially portable PCs that can play all of your PC games, like Steam games, Xbox Game Pass games. So literally anything you bought on your Xbox Game Pass, you can pretty much play on this on the go, portable. But the problem that a lot of them have had is that they haven't been the greatest when it comes to battery life and when it comes to keeping everything cool. The MSI Claw is the first one to really kind of address this fully and head on. And that's because of the fact that they have the latest Intel processors. All of these before have been AMD processors, which have traditionally been really great in the console gaming. But with Intel and these new chips, we're expected to see better battery life even at full power, getting 2 hours, which full power, let me tell you, typically runs about an hour and a half to an hour on the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally. So 2 hours is substantially better at full power. And that means using everything to the max. Basically, the overall wattage you're using is a full output. So really cool when it comes to this. And the cooling system is so good. It has so many vents on the back, and I showed that in the video. It really is just cool in how it looks and how it stands out. And it's kind of like having a Nintendo Switch, but for your Xbox and Steam games on the go. So you can play AAA titles like I've played God of War, I played Final Fantasy Remake, all of these kind of ones on the go with my existing one. So really, really cool to see this. Again, starting at I want to say it was $699, not $599, because I think it was a bit more, and then going up to $799 for the better processor version, whether it be the Ultra 5 or Ultra 7. I would personally go for the Ultra 7 because I think it's going to give you much better performance and longevity in terms of new games coming out. All right, now this is literally so before I left for CES, I did a video. I think it was like the laptop for content creators, the best laptop for content creators, and it is my current ROG Zephyrus G14. This is the upgraded version of it, just announced freshly at CES, and it is making me think about buying it, but I don't think I will end up doing it. I'll go over that more in future videos, but it is a lot slimmer than mine that I have right now, which if you look at the video, mine was already pretty, I wouldn't say slim, but smaller, right? This one is an OLED display, which means it's brighter, it's better looking, and it stands out. It would be a laptop I would watch movies on more so that I would never really do with my current laptop. It's not that good of a screen to do that. This one is. Um, it has the same GPU as the one I have, so for editing, all that kind of stuff, it's going to be about the same. However, it has a much better CPU, which is going to mean that my overall computer will run faster and that my battery life would even be better than previous this model. Plus, it has Wi-Fi 6E, whereas I had Wi-Fi 6 on this one. So just preparing for the future. Overall, it's even lighter too at 3 point. I want to say it was 3.3 pounds. I can't convert. If anyone could convert 1.5 kilograms, or here. Hey Google, convert 1.5 kilograms into pounds.
1.5 kilograms is
Yeah, 3.3.
3.37 pounds.
So 3.3 pounds. Really cool when it comes to that. Absolutely love it. So, and it's even better body to screen ratio. So thinner bezels, better speakers. It's really good. It's literally the laptop that I have right now, but a better version of it because it's lighter, thinner, better screen, better battery life, faster processor, slightly lighter. I think mine is 3.4 pounds, so it's not too much lighter, but still lighter. So yeah, and looks just absolutely amazing. Will I buy this? I don't think so because there's another one that I'm going to have to buy before the end of this video, and I'll talk about that later. Also, liquid cooling, so much better cooling system for the CPU. So really good for that. All right, now this is just an Indiegogo right now. I don't have any word yet on if it's going to become an official product or something like that, but I thought it was really cool. The Logitech Reach. Now, you can see it on Indiegogo right now if you go ahead and check it out. But the basic concept behind this was really cool that you have a camera from the demo videos that just kind of like it's an overhead camera easily accessible for anyone. And that's great, right? Like if we can have a easily accessible, more people can do overhead cameras, more people can do overhead stuff. So it's really cool when it comes to that. No word yet on the resolution, all that kind of stuff. I will say that if it looks clear as a demo show, then great, but we'll have to wait and see how it is. But the biggest thing is that, man, it just absolutely is a cool concept that I hope comes to fruition. We'll have to wait to see more as time goes by. But again, you can check it out on the Indiegogo. I got to see a little bit of it in person. It is a really cool concept. But yeah, let me know what you guys think because I think having a more accessible over the head camera ability I think it's going to be something that it does very well. I am hoping that we get a 4K model because I think content creators would really love that. If I can say it pair it with this camera, right? This camera is for me, but if I can pair it for an overhead shot or even replace this camera with one that could be shooting at me and overhead, I mean, that would make a lot better content that I could do on the go or live. So that would be really cool to see. I would even want to see like a case for it or anything like that so I can travel with it because over the head shots, say, if I'm on the go, would be great to have. So yeah, really cool concept. Hopefully it comes to fruition sooner than later. All right, now these ones, the Ray Neo X2 and the Ray Neo Lite, if I'm not mistaken, were the two names of it. Um, so sorry, we were just a little dark right there. So yeah, these ones are really cool. Essentially, there are two versions of this. I believe the ones I'm wearing right now were the light, which are extremely light, like comparable to my regular glasses, like very, very light. Excuse me. I'm getting heartburn at my age now. So here's the thing: the light version is supposed to come out um, towards the end of this year. Basically, Q3 is what they were telling me. And then the Ray Neo X2 are supposed to be like a Kickstarter campaign starting off in the next 2 months. I want to say, I think it was March. I want to say, but these are XR glasses. Now, the demo that I got right before it started having issues, which it was having issues connecting to Wi-Fi, as obviously test versions in the worst possible Wi-Fi place, understandable. But still, it was able to translate as the lady was speaking to me in Chinese. It translated it into English in real time, and that was cool. And that's something that I think as we get more and more AI, I think language is actually going to be a barrier that gets quickly taken care of, because that is where AI and where technology I think can really shine to clear the gap in communication. Because imagine if I'm thinking about possibly going to Computex in Taiwan. In I think it's around May or June. I want to say it's the first week of June. um, I don't speak any Mandarin, right? I don't speak the language at all. If I could have glasses like this and literally translate for me, I mean that is perfection. Like that is perfect. So whether we get that or not, I don't know, but I am excited for it. I'm here for it. Hopefully, we can have something like that. Oops. All right, now this is the only thing that made the list that I didn't personally see, but I had all of my colleagues tell me about it. I tried to get to see it, didn't get to by the end of the week. It was just, you know, my CES was very chaotic, let's say, to say the least, and I'll go in a little bit about that later in the show. But Cold Snap, picture like a Keurig style device where you put these canisters inside the machine and out comes soft serve ice cream. I thought it was so simple but yet so cool. Like, if you've used ice cream makers, they are not the easiest thing to use. They're, can be troublesome. They just have it's not as quick to make it. You typically have to get ice cream. You have to go out and buy it, right? For events, kind of thing like that, instead of making it. But as a person that likes to have people over and likes to do things, you have all of these different flavors of canisters, including booze ice cream, by the way, alcoholic ice cream essentially. And you just literally pop the top up, put the canister in, and it makes soft serve ice cream. It was really simple. It was really cool demo. Um, and even the cleanup didn't seem like anything ridiculous. So I am here for this kind of technology. It's biodegradable, by the way. They made sure to point that out because obviously Keurig K cups weren't the best thing for the environment. So yeah, I am here for this. I am so like I cannot wait to see how this turns out. I'm hoping it does do very well. And it's one that I will personally reach out to the company to see when all more of the information on it. But yeah, it's just a really cool concept, and the cups they can kind of make are pretty big, right? Like I mean, that's like a like legit like yogurt land or yogurt store kind of cup. So I thought that was really cool as well. So I think this is a really cool concept. We'll have to wait to see again how it turns out more, but one that definitely stood out to me. All right, now I did make a full video on this one, so if you want to go ahead and check that out, I think Quiet Storm actually already put it in the chat. Thank you again, always for that, sir. But keyboards for Windows are about to change as we know them. There is a new button coming to Windows laptops, and that button is right here. It is the Microsoft CoPilot button. Now, there is going to be updates to Windows that coincide with this, but just so you know what this is Windows Copilot, which essentially uses two AI programs that are out in the world, but refined by Microsoft, so that they have more limitations than the other ones, but you get newer versions than you would if you, unless you paid for these other models. So what Microsoft Copilot does is it uses ChatGPT 4.5, which is the latest version of ChatGPT, um, and Dolly, which is a photo generator, and it makes some really amazing content for it. So much so that it really impressed me when I asked it to create an image of a journalist at CES, and it did four very impressive images of journalists at CES. And it always has some problems. This was probably the best one of all of them, but like in some of the other ones, the hands didn't look right, which is always the thing with hands that they have trouble with. But and some of the other ones, the CES logo didn't look correct. But like this one, if it gives you four different options every time you do it, bam, for it just in like less than 15 seconds, it to pump this out, it is really impressive. And again, however you feel about AI, I always say that I feel like it's a tool to help you start to do things, and that's the idea behind it, but nothing in terms of like it should replace or do anything like that. But it's a great starting point to have. This is really cool just of how good the images of how good everything looked, and like it legit, like yes, like if someone told me this was an illustration of a person at CES, I would completely believe this was a real person. Those are real people behind her. Like everything just looks normal, like it would be on a CES floor, and that's really cool. Maybe it's a little too much space, like it's a little bit more crowded this year, but just really crazy of how that is. So this is going to be a brand new key that's going to be on most new keyboards, including most laptops. I would say out of all the laptops at CES, I only saw it on three. I saw it on this one, which was from Gigabyte. I saw it on Samsung's latest offering, and I saw it on another one. I forgot which one. I think Dell. I think the Dell. But all the other laptops did not have it. Like the Asus didn't have it. The next one that I'm gonna talk about didn't have it. So all of those didn't have it. So it's not everywhere, but it is really cool to see just how it is standing out. All right, now the last one, if I'm not mistaken, yes, this one. This is a product that I am buying. Period. Like as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to buy it. Like there was no option for me. There was like no like, oh well maybe we'll see how it turns out. No, I have to buy it. There's no way I cannot buy this. Um this is something that I have wanted and waited for over 10 years now. All right. Now what is this? This is the Lenovo, I want to call it the Gen X. No, the Lenovo Next Gen 15 Plus, if I'm not mistaken. Very long name. I had to say it like three different times in the video. Um, so what is this? This is a laptop that when you take the screen off or press the button, it changes from Windows to Android. And this is full Android. This isn't like a it's within it's a beta version of Android. No, no, no. This is full Android on this device. When you have the screen by itself, it operates entirely regular Android, just like the latest flagship. And speaking of the latest flagship, it has some of the best processors you can get out for both products right now. So the laptop part of it, the bottom of the laptop, um, does have the latest Intel Ultra 7 processor, which means it is fantastic at battery life and really good for everything, including art graphics, which means it can easily do my photo editing no problem. Video editing, it would be a little bit more laggy with, but definitely can do photo editing no problem. And video editing, it might take a little longer, but it can do it. So when I need it, I have it. Second is when I take it off, the top part is the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. So the best processor of 2022 is on here, which for an Android tablet is exactly what I have now, by the way. I have the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Ultra. Have never had any issues with that processor. It's phenomenal. And the Plus version was the version that had a better battery life compared to the standard one. So again, perfect. This all is in one package with 32 gigs of RAM, with 1 terabyte of storage. It has everything I could want in a dual product. Maybe if I was really picky, a more powerful GPU just so I can edit anything. But the fact that I have one device now that will replace two devices is perfect. Like is absolutely perfect. Not only that, but the bottom of the computer, right? The laptop base, I could plug that into an external monitor without that monitor and it operates as a docked laptop because the brains are still in there. It also has a file sharing capability. So if I receive something on Android, download it from my email on Outlook from there, which by the way is a real scenario because I can download things from Android from my work, but I can't log into my work from Windows. So this is a legit actual case scenario what I would have and it transfers over the file immediately. So it's so good in so many ways for what I needed to do and what I needed to be for that I will buy this. Now, is it cheap? No. Is it actually good considering everything it has? Yes. An Ultrabook like this Lenovo laptop was going for 1,399, right? So that's about the price of the same kind of specs that this Ultrabook has. Again, the latest processor, so it literally has the top of the line specs for a laptop that you would have for any kind of student that could go through college with, or any kind of person that doesn't do video editing for. This is the best of the best, right? Then on the Android side, or sorry, on the Android side, this is a 14-inch screen for an Android. To get that on most Androids right now, you're talking about around a $700 to, if you talk about the Ultras from Samsung, you go all the way up to 1,000. This one product is $2,000. So that being said, it kind of makes sense. It's both products in one, but this comes in at 3.3 pounds and it has everything of both devices in one. That to me is something that I have to buy because it just makes my life better. And that I think is the best kind of tech. It's the best thing I saw at CES. It is the best part of CES for me. As soon as I heard about this, I had to go down there. I knew it was going to be the best tech for me. And when I used it, it just convinced me even more. So yeah. All right, guys. So that was the top 10 products at CES for me. If you want me to go over any of the products, let me know. If I didn't talk about a product that you heard about, let me know because I can go over any of them. I did definitely see a lot of things while I was there. So if you want me to talk about anything else, please let me know. I'm sorry. My nose has been stuffy. It is very dry in Vegas. Like, just yeah, it was very dry while I was there, and it was something that like every person there, like chap lips, stuffy nose, was just extremely dry. But it was very cold too, like 30 degrees, which is cold for me as a California from born and raised in LA. But yeah, a lot of stuff there. So if there's anything else you want to let me know about, let me know. Also, if you want to know about any more details on there, let me know as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get to your questions, and then we'll go over some of the other things that happened at CES. All right. Only thing that matters is the 17th. So let me see. What can I say under embargo? I will be at Samsung Unpacked this year. Um, it is the first year that I'm not only going for an Unpacked event, but I'm going for an extended period to join in all the things that the top influencers are going to get to do. So that's really cool. Very humbled by that. You know, 12 years in the making. Yeah, I will be there for all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, excited for that to say the least. So if you want the latest coverage on the Unpacked event and everything you should know about, including the things that I cannot yet say, but will say on the day of, stay tuned. Um, all right. Anybody else having issues with Bluetooth in their car? After 2 years of updates on my S22 Ultra, when in my car connects, or my phone connects to my car, I can play music no problem, but my phone disconnects. Very strange. I've not had that. Um, um, but huh? Like, yeah, I mean, your phone would be one thing that updates. Have you checked if there's any updates to your car? Sometimes cars do have OS updates, or not OS updates, but software updates that you can typically get through an SD card. So either you can get it from the company, or more easily, you can typically get it on their website and download it to an SD card, put it in there, and then update the OS. So that might have helped and you can take it to a car dealership and they can do it too. Although I don't know if they charge you or not. Depends on probably the brand. Um, but those are definitely things that do happen for cars to help with that. But those would be my thoughts immediately. I have not had an issue of that nature. I did have like I remember one software update on I don't know if it was the S23 or one of the other phones that I reviewed this year where like if it would be playing music it would disconnect and then that was through Android Auto. So it was only through Android Auto that it would have that issue. Bluetooth it wouldn't have the issue, but Android Auto it would have an issue and then it end up with another software update from the phone it didn't have that issue anymore. But that was something that I had to deal with for I want to say about 2 months. Instant ice cream, interesting. Ooh, next new tech glasses. Um, hopefully we can remap that button. I don't care about AI. Yeah, I mean, I think for um people that don't care about AI, I think that'll still be a function button, right? Because that's essentially what it was there. Most companies did two function buttons, one on the left side and one on the right side on a keyboard. So if I think of anything, that CoPilot button will be a function button for anyone else. In my opinion, oh man, sorry, my throat is killing me right now. Give me 1 second. And oh man, in my opinion, does it does it make sense for the S24 Ultra from the S23 Ultra? I don't think so. So I can't say what I can't say. Um, if you know what I'm saying. Um, but all I have to say is wait for the day of, and I'll be able to tell you if it's worth it. and some surprises may surprise you. And yeah, that's all I can say. Man, my throat is just killing me. Um, you can never go wrong with mapping new buttons. Absolutely, more mapping programmable buttons, the better. I think a Chinese Android tablet that I think there were Chinese tablets that did that a few years ago. Absolutely, but they weren't good. I can tell you that I used one. It was a no-name brand, all the same kind of ones, but they were stuck on an old version of Android. I think it was Android like 5 because they couldn't dual boot otherwise. So it was an old version of Android. It was outdated and never got updates. And it was just a poor quality. I bought one. I think I bought one for like $500 at the time. And I never did the video on it because it was just, or I don't think I did the video on it. I remember I recorded content, but I don't think I ever put it out just because it had so many issues that I didn't want to put it out because I was like, I don't want to recommend anyone buy this. And it was just all this kind of stuff. So yeah. Um, but yeah, so you're talking about the Tesla Cast 98 Air. Let me see if this is similar to the one I got, but the one I got was entirely a dual boot device too, but it was just really bad. Yeah, this kind of looks like it. Although this one doesn't have the keyboard case, mine did have a keyboard case with it. But yeah, this looks. Um, yeah, same kind of thing. It had eMMC, which meant the internal storage was super slow. Um, very low quality. Yeah, like this is Android 4.4.4, Windows 8.1. So yeah, basically, and yeah, it basically was just nothing like this. This is what I'm talking about is like a real viable option for both. Because on its own, this computer is amazing. On its own, this Android tablet is amazing. The ones back then were not good at either, to be honest. It was it had like Celeron to Pentium processor, and they're very low budget CPUs. And the storage on the Android side was very bad, very limited. You couldn't expand it either. It was just all bad. So nothing like the current ones. Stay warm, Ricky. Get those antioxidants. I definitely need those. I was using vitamin C all week. I am waiting to see. I mean, hopefully, I not get sick. I'm gonna do a COVID test tomorrow morning just to make sure before I go into work. But it has definitely been a week. Um, seems to me with the S24 Bigsby will be an afterthought. A Bigsby by any other name is still Bigsby. Yeah. Um, should I trade in my Flip 5 for the S24 or should I wait till the Flip 6? I mean, that I would say is very arguable. Forget anything that may be known about the S24 or not known. I will say this: the Flip 6 is a different form factor, right? Like the Flip 5 and S24 are different form factors. So that's one thing you have to ask. So, have you like having the clamshell phone? Have you like having that kind of ability? Because then you might want to stick with it. Um, if you are, um, if you are liking the kind of ability to have, a flip or a folding phone, then you might not want to go back to an S24. If you don't really care about it, or it hasn't been that like real change as you might have thought it might be, then you might not mind going the other way. So yeah, man, my nose is so stuffy right now. Sorry guys. I'm sorry if I'm sounding a little bit nasally now at this point. At least I got through all the news part. So yeah, Rigsby coming soon. Hello. Very, very fun stuff coming. But yeah. Um, so yeah, guys, this year, just kind of break down a little bit of what I went through this year. This year was my very first time I was actually there as both a influencer and as a brand. It was very interesting for me because I've had my 9 to 5 job. Most of you guys know I work in Newegg, and but this time I hosted an influencer mixer, which was very different for me because I've always gone there as an influencer. I've gotten to check out everything, but this time I had to, you know, throw a mixer and like see if influencers would come to me, kind of thing like that. So it was very unique for me. It was double duty most of the week. I would be like, all right, all of this day I'm here as a brand. Then for the night I'm an influencer again. All right, this morning I'm an influencer, then a brand, then an influencer, then a brand, then both. It was just very, very interesting to me just how all of it went down. A lot, I would say. Like I don't think a CES has ever been this much work for me, and I say that as in like how much pressure I felt this year. But it was a lot of fun as always. I loved being there, and how many new and different kind of influencers I got to talk to and just really connect with, and it was just so cool, like so cool to get to meet all these different influencers from these different perspectives where we all kind of did the same thing, but in very different ways. And, a lot of them were more PC centric than I was, and some of them are very photography centric, and all these different kind of things. Really cool connecting with them. I got lucky enough to go to a TCL event and see Nelly in concert. Gonna upload. I have so much more things to upload. So, like I said, all this week we're gonna be getting a lot of footage and more videos. My goal is to release 5 in the next 3 to 4 days because after Unpacked, I have a whole new set of videos I need to start doing. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot. Hopefully, you guys will try to watch them all if you can, share them if you can. Any video you find interesting, please share. Because when I release that many videos in a row, a lot of people get lost in the shuffle. So where I do the arbitrary, do the notification bell and make sure it's on for my channel, just so you guys get notified. Just so the algorithm, as soon as it's like, oh well, people aren't watching, and then it kind of tanks it. Hopefully, the more of you watch, the more it'll bring it up. Oh, some advice for the car. Unpair the S22 Ultra, turn off the phone for 5 minutes, restart your connection, have the S21 Ultra have an instant connection whilst playing YouTube and more. Hopefully that works. Hopefully you could try that out. I think that was Warren. So yeah, try that out, Warren, and see if hopefully that helps. Um, but yeah, guys, got to see a lot of fun stuff. Got to get a lot of tech. A lot of tech coming. I can see some of them over there. Some Spec, if you remember Spec, the case company, they're releasing earbuds, so we'll see how good those are. Very affordable pricing. We also have what is the company name? Bert B Source, something like along those lines. Has a really cool retractable Type C cable, which we've seen plenty of those before. Wasn't that impressed by that? What I was impressed by it's a 100-watt Type C cable that's retractable. That I've never seen because most retractable cables are very under wattage, like 5 watt, 10 watts, 15 is the best I've ever seen. 100 got my attention. So yeah, I got some of that and got like a new JBL mic for phones, so I'll be testing that out too. So yeah, got some stuff that I will be testing out and going over the next few weeks. But as you all know, basically all of this next few days, I'm gonna try put all the CES stuff out. Afterward is full swing Galaxy S24. So any videos you want to see for that, please start letting me know because it's going to be a lot of videos coming out right away. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun stuff. All right, guys. I think that will be it for this week. As my voice is going, my nasal. At least I made it earlier, so that was good for most of the top 10 CES stuff. But yeah, guys, have more videos on almost all those products coming out, so stay tuned for that. Please make sure to like and subscribe as always, and make sure to ring that bell so you don't miss out any of the content coming out, because there will be over 10 videos this week for sure. Thank you guys always so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.
Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. Also, follow us on social media at YouTube Tech Guy, and check out some more great tech videos on your screen right now.